after years of using Google Chrome, I've finally made the switch to Microsoft Edge. Yeah. So let's talk through the process why. I spend a lot of time on my browser. I'm a data specialist and I like browsing the internet. Who doesn't? And for a long time now, I've used Google Chrome. It's a simple tool. You have your browser, you have your bookmarks, you have access to the Google search engine. It was nothing less and nothing more than I expected. But then I realized something. Because over the years, as my computer got faster, luckily, and the number of apps and tools that I've used got larger, Chrome just did not perform at all. So here's a list of why Google Chrome is a pain in my... When I have a lot of tabs open, Chrome goes absolutely insane with my RAM. And this was actually the biggest issue for me. So I thought at the time, you know what, maybe my new MacBook is the issue. Maybe I'm the problem. So I Googled a bit and I actually found an experimentation that Tom's Guide had done. And it's quite interesting. So here's a table of Chrome versus Firefox versus Edge and the RAM usage. And let's have a look at 60 tabs open. The fact that Google Chrome eats more than a whole gig of memory than Edge is pretty surprising. That's a big difference. But also, when you have a lot of tabs open, the performance is not great as well. So there seems to be a bit of a lag. It's not long enough to be annoying, but it's long enough to notice. And the big thing here is that I often found Google Chrome a bit too simple. Such as if I needed a calculator, I often wished by default that there would be some widget by the bookmark bar. If I needed to convert Fahrenheit to Celsius, my browser is open, cannot click a button or two to lead to some sort of conversion table. With Chrome, what I need to do is that I need to search Fahrenheit to Celsius conversion, get this window pane, type in my values that I want to convert, and then finally get the answer. So you can see the process can be quite long. This leads to the 7th of February 2023, and Microsoft decided to integrate AI to their browser Edge. So I thought, hey, this is a prime opportunity for me to try out a new browser, and I did. So let's talk about it. We did speak about Google Chrome and the performance being not too great. I do think Edge is better here, but I am going to leave that for you to decide. Let's discuss the other stuff. Collections. This is quite neat. Now, with the collection feature, you can easily gather information such as text, images, other content, and then place them inside this note page. And this is how it looks. Pretty cool. Whereas with Chrome, we don't really get that by default. We just get the bookmark page. I love setting up collections. On Edge, what I do is I start a new collection, like data analytics tidbits, where I plan to add some useful data facts. If I want a page to be added to the collection, all I do is click on the icon at the top right and navigate to my collection and click Add Current Page. And just look how much better that looks. If I want to add an image, I right-click the image and click on Add Image to Collection. I can even add notes like this. And now when I access this collection, it just looks a lot more better than Chrome's Bookmark Manager. Because with Chrome's Bookmark Manager, you just get a list of links and descriptions. Whereas Edge's collections, it feels like a Pinterest board. It looks more visually appealing and the information just comes across better. The Edge PDF Reader is pretty cool as well. Now, a lot of browsers come with a built-in PDF reader. Google Chrome has one as well. But what I really liked about Edge's PDF Reader is that the built-in functionalities were pretty awesome. So with Chrome, I get this. You just read the PDF. That's it. Chrome is like PDF Reader, you have one job and one job it is. But with Edge's PDF Reader, there is a lot more here. When I open up a PDF on Edge, I can annotate, I can add text, I can get one of those AI voices to read stuff out to me, and if I save this to my local folder and open it up again, the annotations show up as well. And this is default. You don't need to enable anything, you don't need to download specific extensions. This comes default on the Edge app. And probably the best part of Bing and why I use it so often is its sidebar. So on Bing sidebar, you have apps that you can access quite easily. So if you click on that Bing icon, that, my friend, is the money maker. You have the infamous or famous, depending on which side you're on, AI, which you can basically ask anything. And it searches the internet, shoots out a paragraph, and then gives references. So in this example, I asked it to give me a few benefits of Microsoft Edge over Chrome. just in case I ever need to make a YouTube video about it. And what it does is that it pops out a paragraph answering your question, and it also puts in sources where it got those answers from the net. That's awesome. You can also get it to write your emails. If you are a person who writes bullet points and summary notes on emails and you need to send it out, this is a great feature to have on your browser. I use the Compose tab a lot to write emails and summarize things. For example, I can type out something like this. Send an email to my editor to let her know I will create 2 TikTok videos and 2 YouTube videos to edit by next Friday. Then you can choose casual and the format, which is email in this case. Click short because nobody wants to read long emails, and this can get pretty long. And it generates a pretty good draft. Now, yes, there may be some changes, but it's a good structure for you to start off with. And then let's talk about tools, because this is definitely my favorite addition. I have the browser opened all the time, and when I need to calculate something, tools is always there for me. So you can do quick calculations, it's easy access, it's awesome. The unit converter is pretty cool as well. So if you want to convert pounds to kgs, Celsius to Fahrenheit, inches to centimeters, etc., you can do so in that same tools function. Translator is another good one. I don't think I use translator as much, but I'm sure a lot of people will use a translator quite often. Dictionary is another good one to have as well. If you don't know what a word means, head on there, type it out, and it will give you the definition. And obviously, if you use Microsoft 365 apps, well, you can access some apps through here. The cool part is that you can access Outlook emails. So if you do have Outlook, I definitely recommend checking out the sidebar here, because when you browse, you have the sidebar open, and then if you get a new email, it catches your eye. So it is quite good for work purposes. Also, just to note, you do get access to Chrome extensions as well on Microsoft Edge. This is because Microsoft Edge is built on Chromium open source project, which, surprise, surprise, Google Chrome is also built on. So if you don't know, Microsoft actually did make the decision to switch to Chromium around early 2019, late 2018, if I remember correctly, which allowed for better website compatibility and extensions as well. So essentially, those are all the reasons why I chose Microsoft Edge over Google Chrome after 10 years on Chrome. I do find it way more user-friendly, and I'm at the stage now where I just want one tool to sort of help me with my everyday tasks. And I don't think there is a better tool than your browser, because your browser is always open. And the more I discover new features on Edge, the more I like it better. It's definitely becoming my buddy. Probably my only friend, but let's not talk about that. It's just definitely worth a try.